Folks, welcome back. It is the Sunday we have waited all year for in the FFL. It is the Kitten Bowl 2022. I'm Maniac, joined by my co-host, Wake Joggins. Wake, these teams have played all year, but it has come down to this one decisive Sunday.
Yep, all eyes are on Joe Purrow and Jamal's Chase from the Clyde's Clovers right now. Can they lead their team to victory on the road? They are favorites on the road at Fattey Beer in Ellicottville today by 3.5 points. It's going to be amazing game. See if they can take down Stafford and that fantastic team he has over there at the Fattey Rosebuds. Before we get into the game, got to remind you guys of all the amazing sponsors. They're the reasons we're here today. Clyde's Feed and Animal Center, Fattey Beer Company, Sweet Buffalo, Cellino Plumbing and HVAC, 26 Shirts, and last but certainly not least, 10 Lives Club. Their mission is to promote, further, and enhance all cat life, and that's exactly what we're doing today because all the cathletes up in today's Kitten Bowl are up for adoption. So without further ado, let's get into the action.
Folks, we are here, Kitten Bowl 2022 live at Fattey Beer, and I'm here with Kelsey. Kelsey making sure that everything is going off without any issues. All these cats get to location, they get to the stadium, and they're ready to go. How excited are we for this Kitten Bowl?
We are very excited. So we have tried to do a Kitten Bowl in the past, and in our shelter, it did not go well too. So now that we have actually good teams this season, we're really excited to see who wins.
It was an amazing year in the Feline Football League. What are some other amazing things that 10 Lives Club are doing for cats and kittens around the world?
Yeah, so we are a no-kill shelter. So all the cats and kittens that come into our program either get out for adoption, they come into our shelter, our 13 off-site adoption locations, or they go into foster home. So these kittens today were foster home kittens. And then we do spay and neuter clinics that are public and feral cats, just to stop the overpopulation of cats and kittens.
And not to put you on the spot here, but let's say someone wasn't adopting a cat. What's another way maybe they could help?
Yeah, volunteering. So it could be volunteering at events like this. It could be volunteering at our shelter or off-site adoption locations, making theme baskets for events. So there's a ton of ways to help, even fostering.
Love to hear it. With this action set to get underway, do these cats ever stop?
Absolutely not.
Love to hear it.
Folks, I am here with Brian from Clyde's Feed and Animal Center at the 10 Lives Club Kitten Bowl. Brian, big matchup against the Fattey Rosebuds. How do you feel about the Clyde's Clovers' chances?
No question, it's going to be an easy win today. Jamal's Chase cannot be stopped. Joe Purrow, LSU connection. The Tigers, I mean, what else do you want from two cats and playing for a team called the Tigers?
That being said, MVK, most valuable kitty. Who do you have taking that one home today?
Jamal's Chase, no question. Performance that a rookie's ever had.
And just give the people a little insight. What's something that they should know about Clyde? Some things you guys are doing right now.
One thing we do is all of the animals, the new animals for new pet owners that come into our store get a package that we're going to give them some food, and then if you got dogs, food, treats, all the stuff that you need, a fraction of the cost.
Awesome. Love to hear that. You're helping dogs, cats here. You're helping dogs, cats all over Western New York, and it's a great day for some football. Let's go.
And you can see the players taking the field. Wake, again, they played all year in the Feline Football League, but who will achieve their immortality in this 2022 Kitten Bowl?
Yep, obviously, big game today, and I'm really interested to see. You know, we did talk pregame with Brian from Clyde's about Joe Purrow and Jamal's Chase. They brought them together from college. Now they're in the FFL together. I think that connection is going to be really key for them if they plan on taking home the victory.
Shout out the millions tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Comment who you think is going to take home most valuable kitten, what storylines you're looking at in this Kitten Bowl. It's an amazing time. It has all come down to this Sunday of the football season. Ooh, getting a little ferocious. Dylan McFluffy!
Dylan McFluffy and Terrell Snuggs getting off to a bit of a chippy start. The ref, Derek Meowers, may have to get into the middle of that if he wants to keep this game under control.
Get into the middle of that. He's saying sayonara. He's in the Cellino litter box. He's taking a break.
It looks like he got the paycheck ahead of this game, Maniac. You don't love to see that from the ref, who could have a big impact on the outcome of this one.
Wait, when I play recreational softball, I never pay my umps up front. I want to make sure they're going to get the job done and they're going to be there for the full game, so we wait the full time. And you can see, folks, there are footballs all over the field, there are toys all over the field, and there are laser dots all over the field. So the scoring plays, if a kitten takes a toy or a football or any object into the end zone, it is a 6-point touchdown. Now, there's another way they can score as well, Wake.
Yes, of course. I thought I got excited. I thought Joe Purrow was about to get a score there. The other way they can score is called a 2-point cat version. That means when 2 cats from the same team take down the uprights, that is 2 points for their team.
What I'm seeing right now from the Fattey Rosebuds in red on your screen is it seems like they're kind of feeling out the opponent, Wake. Clovers are kind of trying to assert their dominance running all over the field, especially Joe Purrow.
Yeah, we kind of expected it to be a bit of a defensive battle at first. In last year's Kitten Bowl, 36 points scored. In the previous Kitten Bowls, upwards of 70 and 100 points scored. And this time it was set at 53.5. So odds makers definitely think that it's going to be a little closer than some of those other Kitten Bowls from years past.
And again,
we have Joe.
Go ahead.
No, I'd say we have Joe Purrow and Dylan McFluffy down in the end zone. You know, they do that read option play together really, really, really well. I'd love to see if they can maybe execute that down there inside the 10-yard line.
And who is going to strike first? We had the over-under in the 50s for this game, but it's still a 0-0 matchup here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and if it appears to me, we saw Derek Meowers make a run for it there. Up now, I do see it looked like Joe Purrow was there hiding behind Jadeveon Clowney of the Rosebuds. And the stadium, Maniac, what's happening to the stadium? The structural integrity is falling apart.
I will tell you that we have a lot of integrity in this game. The rules, obviously, Derek Meowers. But with that said, the stadium integrity was questionable there for a second.
Honestly, it is reminding me a lot of the Washington football team stadium. We saw what happened there. Jalen Hurts in that game he really could have gotten hurt. Would hate to see one of these athletes get hurt because of the state of this arena.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And you see Cat Milano trying to work the sideline. It's being working the sidelines. Derek Meowers is gone for a second time, folks. He is out.
You gotta wonder, does Derek Meowers have a leg in this game? Maybe did he place a bet ahead of time? He seems like he's trying to stay as far away from the action as possible. I'm not a big fan of that. You know, you said it. We're all about integrity here, and I'd like to see it be, I'd like to see him a little more involved right now.
And now this is our first year, obviously, hosting the Kitten Bowl with Fattey Beer and all of our wonderful sponsors. With that said, I don't know if Derek Meowers isn't present when a touchdown is scored. I don't know if it counts. I don't know if it's like wrestling where if the ref doesn't see it, it doesn't count. Or if we're the scorekeepers, I don't know what's going on.
And you can see there are fans using laser pointers on the field in the NFL.
Look at Joe Purrow. He's starting to get into a rhythm out there, Wake.
Oh, yeah, you see that. He was doing cone drills ahead of the game today. He was doing a lot of ladder drills. His feet were staying hot, staying fresh, and I think he's leading by example for the Clyde's Clovers right now.
And, folks, if you're tuning in, we are nearing the end of our first quarter. Shout out Dale Van Camp at DBK tuning in. Today wouldn't be the same with us. I agree. You wait all year for this, Wake. The Feline Football League, it all comes down to this. The Clovers versus the Rosebuds. So far, nobody wants to seem to snatch that early advantage.
Yeah, it's still a 0-0. It appears we're about halfway through the first half. And, we do still have Joe Purrow, Dylan McFluffy on the far end of your screen right now in the end zone, in the red zone there. Derek Meowers keeping a close eye on that football they have, making sure he's the first to know. And Joe Purrow now going to the other end of the field, quickly reversing. That's a bold strategy, Maniac.
I'll tell you what, though, Joe Purrow, we've seen it all in this first half. Out of everybody on the field, it looks like he's the only one that's comfortable. It looks like he's the only one that's getting into a rhythm. But will he be able to take that early lead for his team and the Clovers?
Still 0-0. Overbettors are absolutely sweating. We know the live total now started at 53.5. It is now down to 49.5. Maniac, if you see that, do you think that it's going to pick up? Of course, we expected these cats to be feeling themselves out a little bit, but, I personally expected maybe some points by now.
Yeah, I'm sure overbettors are wondering what the hell is going on. With that said, there's no doubt that the action's been nonstop, whether it's Derek Meowers making himself a storyline, whether it's the Joe Purrow running all over the field, or whether it's wondering when these Rosebuds are finally going to come to play. There's no shortage of storylines here at the Kitten Bowl 2022.
And there's Cat Stafford. He is number 9 for the Fattey Rosebuds. He's at the 20-yard line at the end of your field on the left-hand side. And, of course, we have Jadavian Clowney, Darryl Taylor out there for the Fattey Rosebuds as well. Right now for the Clovers, Cat Milano, Joe Purrow, and Dylan McFluffy. And Cat Milano, where's Derek Meowers?
Was that taunting?
That seems like some unnecessary fluffness to me.
Yeah, that was unnecessary fluffness for sure. Ooh, whoa.
Amazing work by the
shout out to our outstanding crew on the ground, making sure everything at Fattey Arena gets filmed here. And Charlotte Ann is right. Great defense on both sides. Make sure, folks, we want to hear what you're thinking of this Kitten Bowl. I don't care if you're upset at the lack of scoring. I don't care if you're happy about all the fluffy friends running around. I want to hear it, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all of it.
And it seems, I believe that is Dylan McFluffy down. He's Dylan McFluffy, top right of your screen in the end zone. There's a crinkly right in front of him. All he has to do is possess the ball in the end zone. That's a score for the Clovers, but he's having trouble maintaining possession.
Same thing with Joe Purrow. You got 2 Clovers, you got 2 Rosebuds. Who's going to seize the opportunity?
Will it be Purrow? Will it be McFluffy? They're in the end zone.
Purrow!
Touchdown! Touchdown, Clovers!
And then you can see on the replay, he sniffs it, he lifts it, and he scores it in the end zone.
Now that is now Joe Purrow has been noticed for his finesse, his delicate touch on the football, and he really put that on display there. We have a 6-0 lead for the Clyde's Clovers.
That was incredible. The fans are going nuts across the nation, across the world right now. The millions tuning in. The Clovers with an early 6-0 lead.
You know, we are more than halfway through this first half. I can imagine the Clovers would love to extend this to a 2-score game. All they need is a 2-point cat version. They would have an 8-0 lead, and that could be pretty commanding, especially in a defensive battle such as this.
And you got to wonder if Derek Meowers at this point is more focused on calling this down the middle, or if he's more focused on just making sure that he gets this paycheck and gets on out of Dodge. Because he doesn't seem to, like, there was the play earlier with Cat Milano. He was even a little late on the Joe Purrow signal. We had to go to the replay to verify. But yeah, we'll see. I'm just a little disappointed in Derek so far.
You know, he was at the center of some controversy in the FFL this year. Some people say he calls too many unnecessary fluffness, intentional growling penalties. He's a little too quick on the whistle, but you did say it. He really made sure he got that call right. I can appreciate that from Derek Meowers. And you can see he's been kind of playing with the ball. He is making sure he's leading by example for these cats out there, showing them this is how it's done, guys. Let's get some offense going.
I got to say, since that unnecessary fluffness that was missed by Derek, Cat Milano has been a statue on the sideline.
He really has. And we do have on the left side of your screen 2 Clyde's Clovers. They now moving back towards midfield, but that was a perfect opportunity for a 2-point cat version there.
Yeah, they had him dead to rights, honestly. But now you got kind of a power play situation where we got 3 Clovers and only 2 Rosebuds on the field. But with that said, Cat Milano, he's not moving. So hate to say it, if anything's going to get done, it's going to be McFluffy and Purrow. Cat Milano?
Cat Milano making his way back on the Clovers now with a 2-man advantage.
A 4-on-2, a 2-man ad?
Is this up to coaching right now? Like, they're just not getting their changes in. They're not getting the subs right. What do you think is going on here?
I don't know. But, hey, as Derek Meowers takes the extra midfield, we go over our sky cam provided by Fattey Beer. Shout out to them. Let's go full screen and give you a full view on the arena as we go for the latter action of our first half. And again, just like they have all half, you have Joe Purrow looking to dictate the action. Meanwhile, McFluffy looking for something. He's got the ball at the edge of the red zone.
Yep, Dylan McFluffy there at the 10-yard line. Now, that is Terrell Snuggs there, staying pat by the end zone there. And we see the boards once again coming down. These cats in the stands have to be worried for their safety.
You know, sometimes you see professional sports league, and I'm especially thinking of the Arena Football League, where sometimes you got to use the boards to your advantage. Now, you can see there's some fans, there's probably some family members out there. They obviously don't want to endanger them. But with that said, if there's a play to be made, these kittens are going to do it, Wake.
Absolutely, and they all are kind of, getting to that one side of the end zone, playing defense. You have Terrell Snuggs still there. And there's Dylan McFluffy down there. He is spinning around, and he is right in the end zone. He could very easily get that for a score, but he's just unable to possess it, and now that ball is back at the 10-yard line.
Folks, make sure you are liking and sharing this post. Get it out. I know there are millions watching the Kitten Bowl right now, but let's have more people tune in. Let's have more people comment. Let's see what we have going on this decisive Sunday in the Feline Football League. Clovers with an early lead as we're nearing halftime.
And now we do have 2 Clovers in the far right end zone. It's possible we could see a 2-point cat version. Terrell Snuggs still there, standing his ground on the goal line, though. Maybe he can use his tail to keep that up. We know that he's been doing a lot of tail curls in the offseason to be ready for this game. Oh, and there's Joe Purrow, and he knocks it down. It's a 2-point cat version.
There it was.
And
They
you can
combined.
See, yep,
they made the play.
There's Dylan McFluffy there in the end zone. He got a paw on that before it touched the turf. That is why we have an 8-0 lead for the Clovers with just 2 minutes going until the half.
To be honest, somebody's got to stop hitting the snooze button for the Rosebuds because they clearly had nap time before the game, and it's looking like they're still snoozing out there on the field.
Yeah, we do know that Fattey Beer in Ellicottville, there is a sauna in some of the facilities there. It did used to be a bit of a lodge situation. I think these cats came into this game expecting to have a bit easier of a timeout. Of course, if I was in the Fattey Rosebuds, I'd be drinking sours all day there. So, I don't blame them if they're coming out a little lackadaisical.
I agree. The sours are delectable. With that said, I'm very interested to see, as we near halftime here, if the Clovers get aggressive or if they kind of just are content to go in with an 8-0 lead.
And you got to wonder, the Rosebuds, they haven't had a lot going for them. Do they want to take a risk and try and get a score?
We got 2 Rosebuds near the end zone here, Wade.
A 2-point cat version, that makes this a ball game. That makes this a close game, a 1-possession game headed. But it seems like they're backing off. They don't like
they're
the
backing
look.
up their
They're checking
booties
out of that read. Jadeveon Clowney.
By the way, we tried to book Katy Perry for the halftime show, but we didn't get her. I'm sorry, guys.
We did. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Jadeveon Clowney right there, he has a crinkly at the 10-yard line, laser pointer. The coaches are using those to try and influence the Cats' play, and now Jadeveon leaving that crinkly alone at the 10-yard line with Dylan McFluffy. Now it's all him.
There's literally nothing standing between McFluffy and the end zone, but except now there's another toy. There's another toy at the opposite 10.
There are so much things as too many options out there, and I think he is just trying to figure out what he wants to do in this situation. It's situational football, and he's always struggled with that.
What do you call too much of a good thing, Wake? Because it looks like that's what these kittens are having. I'm seeing nap times. I'm seeing friends playing. Uh-oh. And it looks like Jamau's Chase is looking to take the game into his own hands, biting the toy string.
Derek Meowers is sinking his claws into that ball at the 50-yard line. Now he's just playing with the turf. Man, I've seen more big plays out of Meowers today than I've seen out of any other player. So I don't know what this ref show is doing. But look, he's trying to score another touchdown. Yeah, he's just trying to hype these players up. He's giving them a pat on the back. He's scratching their backs. He's doing what he can. And now cleaning himself. You know what? He's a ref that wants to look good while doing a good job. Seriously, wow. You know who's looking exceptionally cute? Is that Furman Thomas? I think it's Furman Thomas at the 40. He's looking incredible. Poofy. Absolutely. And I believe we'll be getting an interview with his #1 fan at the half, so stay tuned for our halftime show. We do still have some first half action to go. Let's see if the Rosebuds can get a score and make it a 1-possession game. As Wake alluded to, we'll have some interviews specifically with Mary Ann, Herman Thomas's #1 fan. She's basically the Pinto Ron to the Bills of Herman Thomas. Wherever he goes, she's going. And now we have some from Dale Van Campen. Love that. Dale, thank you for the support. You're clearly one of the best fans out there of the FFL. Seriously, he's a diehard. But will the Clovers cruise, or will they die hard before half if the Rosebuds can strike and make this a game? And you see you got 2 Clovers. That's McFluffy. That is Jamau's Chase down on the right end zone. They have a lot of options for scoring yet again. And we got two Rosebuds down there playing defense, maybe trying to get a score of their own. I
We
believe
got
that's
a
Darren
very heavy left side of the field right now, and we're bringing in more players.
Absolutely. They got to get the subs in, got to get some fresh legs if they want to try and get this down to a one-score game. Up, we have one of the Rosebuds at the 2-yard line, just needs to inch it over the goal line, and is that touchdown? Touchdown!
Davian Clowney!
And that is with just a few seconds left to go in the first half. It is 8-6. Clovers over the Rosebuds right now, but now this is an entirely different game. The complexion of the 2022 Kitten Bowl has changed right before our very eyes.
Most definitely has, and I think that will take us to halftime. Did I see the clock go to all zeros or what?
I think so. The action is cat-tastic. Very right you are, Dale. Very right you are.
Oh, nope. It looks like there's a little time on the clock. Got time for a couple more plays here before half. It'll be interesting. I mean, if the Rosebuds can strike again, my goodness, what a swing that would be.
It would be a 0-0 game, basically, going into the second half. And after such a slow start for them, I'm not sure that coach could ask for anything more than that.
Derek Meowers literally has his ass to the action right now. I'm sorry if you're a child tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all our platforms, but that's unacceptable, Wake. This is the most prestigious game in the cat universe, and for him to just show a complete lack of respect for that, it's unacceptable.
And it looks like, yep, that will do it for the first half. Cats going to the locker room, and now we'll go for our halftime.
Folks, we are back here with Kelsey. Halftime. Clovers up 8-6 on the Rosebuds. Kelsey, what did you think of that first half action here at the Kitten Bowl?
It started off a little bit slow, but once they kind of got used to each other, I think it went pretty well, actually. Yeah.
It did seem like they were getting acclimated. They were kind of feeling each other out. Not a lot of judgment in that first half. A typical cat trait, though. With that said, is there going to be a lot of judgment in that second half, and how do you think it's going to end up?
Absolutely. I think once it starts to get a little bit closer in the score, there's definitely going to be some swatting and hissing on the field, so definitely stay tuned for that.
Swatting and hissing? Stay tuned, folks. Let's go, Cats. Folks, we are here at Kitten Bowl 2022, live at Fattey Beer. Halftime, Clovers up 8-6 on the Rosebuds. We haven't seen much from Furman Thomas, but I'm here with Furman Thomas's #1 fan. Is he ready for a big second half?
He is. He's a sleeper, but when he wakes up, he will intercept the ball and he will run for a touchdown. I can guarantee you it's going to happen this game. He's just very, very sly.
Very sly. I mean, we've all seen Furman Thomas. Just when he gets nap time, he's in that catnip. With that said, Marianne, I know you're a super cat adopter. How important is it to, give these cats home, especially during, this season, this time of year?
Very important. There's cats called into the shelter every day that people are taking off the streets that are friendlies, and they're out there freezing to death. And it's wonderful that 10 Lives takes in so many animals in the winter. They hardly refuse anybody. Of course, they have to be friendly, but there's so many friendlies that people just dump outside, and they can't take the winners. So great for 10 Lives, and hopefully we'll get them all off the street before the really cold weather hits, because I don't think we're quite there yet.
Seriously, there might be still a little bit of winter left. Make sure we get these kittens new homes. Make sure we have a great second half, especially from Furman Thomas. Last but not least, do these cats ever stop?
Never.
Let's go. Folks, we are here at halftime. Clyde's Clovers leading the Fattey Rosebuds 8-6. Here with Daryl Talley and our leadership here for the Fattey Rosebuds. How are we feeling after that half of action?
We're a second half team. Hopefully, once we get some litter box time in there, we can come out and really show what we got.
It was a slow start for the Rosebuds. Do you think they attribute that to the nap time they were having before the game?
Nap time does have some effect. Hopefully, we can come out and they can actually put up some scores.
We'll see in the second half if they can bounce back. We're here with Daryl Talley. We'll keep you posted. Kitten Bowl 2022. Let's go.
and some great insight there from a lot of the people here at the 10 Lives Club Kitten Bowl. You know, Furman Thomas's #1 fan there. I think she's optimistic about him really taking this game by the claws and getting them into the victory in the second half.
There are so many storylines going into the second half. You have the Rosebuds getting back into the game late there in the first half. You have will Furman Thomas deliver for Marianne? Will the Clyde's Clovers achieve immortality here in the Kitten Bowl? Will the stadium be able to hold these young kittens? Let's find out.
And Derek Meowers putting himself at the 20-yard line right now, and he's sitting right by one of those catnip sacks. For everyone tuning in right now, there is a new score in play. A regular touchdown with any normal toy that has been already there is 6 points. Of course, the 2-point cat version is 2 points, but if the catnip sack gets into the end zone, that is 7 points, and that can be a big swing in this game.
I like the catnip sack. I mean, obviously, it's a high-profile weapon for these young cathletes, and yeah, very interested to see if they can execute. But so far, the only thing they seem to be happy about executing is an exit.
Yeah, exits and nap time, and a little bit of shiftiness going on there between, it looks like, Joe Purrow and Furman Thomas over from the Clyde's Clovers. Looks like a bit of swatting. Let's see them get back to the huddle and address these issues.
Very interested to see them do so.
Now, of course, we talked about the catnip sacks. We had the crinklies out there. We had some footballs out there. But now, also in play, we have some snow cones out there. And Maniac, those are prime for rabbit kicking. I think some of these cats could get some long scores, maybe get that into the end zone from the 30-yard line, save some time, and get a quick lead.
Oh, I mean, you would think that the scoring could come at a flurry in the second half. Oh, and meanwhile, no! We were talking about it. The stadium comes down. Jamouse Chase. He knows no bounds. He tries to take down an entire corner of the stadium. The other competitors are looking on in shockwave.
And Joe Purrow quickly got away from there. Those are cat-like reflexes that really saved him and kept him in this game. Oh my goodness, that could have been disastrous for the Clovers.
Seriously, they avoided disaster. Instead, they've got 3 players out. They're on the prowl. Meanwhile, Derek Meowers has decided it's nap time. He's got a catnip sack and a party poof right in front of him, and he's just absolutely squatted.
It's disappointing to see him only paying attention to one side of the end zone. There's only 2 cats within about 20 yards of him right now. One's out of bounds. I really feel like if he was down there with Furman Thomas and Joe Purrow, he might have the chance to see a score in that end zone.
No doubt about it. And we got people stalking on the sidelines. Meanwhile, again, I can't tell you how many times I know that we have appropriated the rosters because this is the Kitten Bowl, and their supporting crews always do. But how many times do you see 2-on-1s for the Clovers, 3-on-1s for the Clovers? I mean, where is the regulation from Derek Meowers? Oh my God, and we got another one leaving the stadium. Jamouse Chase, I think he achieved it.
I think he did, and I think he almost cleared it. I think he nicked it. Maybe one of his claws was out. Maybe his tail caught the end of it. I really thought he was going to clear the stadium on his own there. But you know what? Credit to the people working for the stadium right now. We thought, Maniac, I want to pick your ear about something here. We got, there was a lot of talk. Would it be an open-air stadium? Would there be a dome for this event? They elected going with an open-air stadium, as you can see here. How do you think that's affecting the play today?
I mean, obviously, I know a lot of people want to see Purrow and Cat Stafford go head-to-head in a dome. Obviously, see them, at the peak of all elements. But at the same time, these are animals. And these are loving animals. These are cute animals. These are cuddly animals. And I love to see them in the elements, whether it's, at Fattey Beer in Ellicottville or whether it's, at, I'm almost thinking about adopting one of these bad boys.
Yeah,
I like Jamouse Chase.
Jamouse Chase is out there. Darryl Taylor, he's a vicious guy on the field, but, the guys in the locker room say it. He's really a sweetheart. He's just a big kid. He's a goofball. And I think, as Maniac said, all these cats are up for adoption. Darryl Taylor and all these guys would make a fantastic addition to any family in Western New York.
And we've got our side chat reporter, Amy Bernstein. If they bring down the stadium, it could be a catastrophe. Couldn't agree more.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
no!
Oh!
A catastrophe!
Oh!
He called it!
Catastrophe! We still have an 8-6 game. what a change in the music by the intern. As oh my gosh,
no!
the stadium. Oh my gosh. The
That
fans
is
were
not a
rushing the
two-point
field.
cat version.
Was that the
Not a
stadium
two-point-
crushing, or was that the fans rushing the field? I can't tell.
You know what? They are taking down the goalposts. If they rush the field at the end of this, especially, there is a heavy contingent of Clyde's Clovers fans here, even though it is at Fattey Rosebuds Stadium. I could see them charging the field. Imagine that. Imagine the Bills going to the Patriots and storming the field with all Bills Mafia there. That's what we could be seeing here today.
Some absolutely amazing stuff. By the way, again, shout out to everybody tuning in, whether it's on the Trainwreck Sports YouTube, whether it's on the Clyde Speed Facebook, whether it's on the 10 Lives Club Facebook, Sweet Buffalo Facebook, all of them. Thank you for tuning in the millions on this Kitten Bowl, as we have seen quite a defensive affair. There are crazy numbers for the viewership, but not so crazy numbers on the scoreboard. I mean, we need some fireworks before it's too late, Wake.
I know, it's 5 minutes about we are into the second half. It is still 8-6. That's how we came into this half. And, you know, I did see the grounds crew laying down some catnip before this half started. And a lot of people were saying, will this have an effect? Young kittens don't necessarily get that effect from catnip that older kittens do. But maybe, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Maybe we can get some more action going here.
Seriously. I mean, again, not complaining because there has been action. There hasn't been scoring. But there has been action. The stadium's collapsing. You got Jamal's Chase literally jumping over the stadium. Will Derek Meowers ever move from his nap at the 20-yard line? Is Terrell Snuggs? Terrell Snuggs, by the way, is taking kind of a synchronized nap with Derek Meowers. I don't know if you've noticed that, but they've both been napping, like laid down there for about the entire second half.
Just put his paws in his pockets. He did have both paws on the turf. Now they're underneath him. He is definitely not going to be moving for a while, Maniac.
Seriously, he's cozy.
Yeah. You know,
one guy Thomas. You want to talk about a position to make a play, Wake? I'm sorry, I know you're bringing up a guy, but I see a party favor, I see a snow cone, I see a catnip sack, and there's Corbin Thomas making a move. No flag from Meowers. As you see, he's focused on. He was focused on Joe Purrow there.
He saw Joe Purrow have not one, not two, but 3 opportunities to score there. And you know what? I think he was anticipating it. Now Joe Purrow back on the other side of the field. And now you see him going back. He went from the 20 back to the other 20, back to midfield. He jumped over Daryl Taylor. I really think that he's trying to... Oh!
Did Jamal Chase just leave the stadium yet? Meowers? No, Meowers is still sleeping.
There was an unnecessary fluffness penalty right
Meowers
in front of his
literally
eyes.
sleeping. And meanwhile you got Perman Thomas. Looked like he could be picking a fight. And then you got Jamal Chase. Jamal Chase literally. I mean, Jamal Chase is going Antonio Brown. He just does not want any part of this game. He's done. He's clocked out. He's not getting the ball, and he's piecing.
7 minutes ago, we'd be saying he was going Vontae Davis. I don't know what would be more embarrassing for him.
Seriously. But with that said, don't forget, Jamal Chase could be your loving, cuddly buddy at home, because all these cats are available for adoption. Check the appropriate Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, all the pages, Instagram, everything.
Yeah, and of course, you did see me at halftime with Furman Thomas. Very, very sweet guy. I tried to get an interview with him, and believe it or not, he didn't have a word for me, but he did nuzzle. He licked, he played with my hoodie strings a little bit, and you know what? That's just the kind of guy. He always treats the media well. No matter where he goes after this game, you know he's going to have success.
Yeah, Furman Thomas is a class act. There's no doubt about it. So I'm very happy and very excited to see where he goes next. And yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Playing in a Puppy Bowl is a privilege. It's like playing in a World Juniors. It's like playing in a Little League World Series. You know, you only get this opportunity to do it for this short window. You can't have a 20-year career and be like, oh yeah, I made the Kitten Bowl 5 times. So who will achieve the immortality here? Again, we haven't seen any scoring in the second half, even though we got Terrell Snuggs, we got Stafford in the end zone. Again, we can't seem, even though Jamal's Chase is literally jumping out of the stadium every 2 seconds, it still seems like the Clovers have a number advantage despite. But there's Jadeveon Clowney, the first half hero.
And you know, one guy we have not mentioned his name yet, Jarrett Catterson, beloved figure in Buffalo, now in the FFL. Really hope he can start to make his impact. People didn't think he would make it to this game, and he did. He hasn't been out on the field really. For the Rosebuds, it's been Snuggs, it's been Cloney, it's been Taylor, and it's been Cat Stafford. Catterson is nowhere to be found.
Yeah, and you have to wonder. I mean, you hate to see that Jarrett Catterson didn't make the Kitten Bowl this year, but obviously he had a obligation, he couldn't make it. But yeah, these rosters have been incredible. Fattey Rosebuds, the Clovers, and again, folks, I know it's kind of crazy because we had a lengthy period in the first half where we didn't get a score, and it was the start of the half. And now we have a start of the second half where we get scores. So defensive starts from both of these staffs, and you saw them making the adjustments at halftime.
Yeah, and other guys that were close to the cut, Matt Fattey, Aaron Podgers, lots of guys out there we were hoping to see in this game. But you know what? These are the best feline footballers out there in the FFL. And let's see if they can make this game a little more interesting. Like you said, not an uneventful game. There's been a lot of great plays by both teams, just very low scoring. It is a genuine chess match out there in the 2022 Kitten Bowl.
And Wake, I think we just rounded the corner. We're coming into our fourth quarter here at the Kitten Bowl, sponsored by Fatty Beer, 10 Lives, Sweet Buffalo, Cellino, the whole crew. You know them, you love them. And folks, if you're watching on one of those Facebook pages right now, smash that like button, smash that heart button, smash that share button. Let's go. Let's pump these numbers, and let's get some offense. Can we get some likes? If we get some likes, we can get some offense. I'm not pedaling. We haven't pedaled the whole Kitten Bowl.
I can't even ride a bike, Maniac. I don't pedal.
Let's go. I know, because I know there's the people, and you know, we can talk about it. It's a social media thing. People ask for like 17. Let's go. We're in the fourth quarter. Let's get pumped. Let's get this crowd going. You can see the crowd live there at Fatty. They're going nuts.
Yep, absolutely. And it is such a great atmosphere. As we said, they did such a great job putting this facility together for this game. And, you know, this is going to be an annual event. Can't wait to see what we do in the future. But we do have this game to worry about right now, and that's where our focus should be. We have more Cathletes coming back onto the field.
I was going to
say,
an
Cat 8-6 ball game.
Cat Stafford's down 2. He needs to focus on being in the arena at Fatty Beer. He needs to focus on making money. And instead, he's focusing on leaving the field.
He's going out for one of those ciders from Aurora Cider House. That's what he's doing. That blood orange ginger one's no joke, and I think that's where he's headed. All
I got to say is cats are judgmental. Let's face it. Even the biggest cat lover would say that. But if Matt Stafford ran out of the stadium during the fourth quarter today while his team was down 2 points, I think there would be some serious judgment on that side. So again, you're seeing the magic of the Kitten Bowl. Things that are happening that would never happen in the Super Bowl. That's why you tune in. That's why you mark it on your calendar. And Cat Stafford's gone again.
And Cat Stafford's gone again on the field for the Rosebuds. Still, Jadeveon Clowney. You know, back when he was in Houston, thought he be a little bit of a problem in the locker room. He's clearly proving to be anything but that, trying to will his team to victory right now. But it's only him and Daryl Taylor out there for his squad.
Yeah, I mean, it's either going to have to be Snuggs or Taylor. But here, we get Cat Stafford, it looks like, back, or maybe another player for the Rosebuds. Who is going to be a hero? The Rosebuds, so far, it's only been Clowney, but Clowney looks like he's taking a nap at the 25. So with that said, they're going to need somebody else to wake up and be a hero for this Rosebud squad.
But can you blame him for being so tired? It feels like he's the only one out there trying to get this lead. They're down 8-6. The Clovers have an 8-6 lead right now over the Fattey Rosebuds. The Fattey Rosebuds did get that last-second touchdown in the first half, but they failed to carry that momentum into the second.
And folks, speaking of momentum, I know if you bet the over for this game, you're ripping up that ticket and you're wondering how you're going to pay the mortgage next month. With that said, we have another big game happening in just about 4 hours. So keep an eye out for Trainwreck Sports for all kinds of picks from those and see who you want to ride with for the big game at 6:30, even though we're still focused on the tunnel version of this big game.
You know, Maniac, 8-6, over-under was 53.5. You just mentioned that. But right now, the Clovers, they were favored by 3.5. They have a 2-point lead. How do you feel about the people that bet them to cover that spread on the road in Ellicottville? Do you think they should feel confident? Do you think maybe they get a score here and ice this game away?
I mean, I don't think they feel confident at all. I mean, they've seen only 1 or 2 scoring plays. You see Purrow at the inside the 10 making a play on the ball, but instead he turns around and he's going the other direction now. You don't want that. With that said, I mean, yeah, you know, you're listening to this music and you're feeling enthused. You're feeling the passion of these kittens out there. Will they score or won't they? Will it be the Rosebuds or the Clovers?
Joe Purrow could rabbit kick the snow cone, but he's not. But he's not.
But he's not. And I'm telling you, Meower's still at the damn 20. I am going to file an appeal with the rule committee or whatever, wherever I can go complain. I'm going to go complain about Derek Meowers because this is unacceptable.
I'm a big complainer. Let me know where that is because I'll join you there, Maniac. I will join you. We do have a lot of action going on the far end of the field. As you said, Derek Meowers, nowhere near close enough to being able to
I'm going to do one more pedal. I'm going to ride the bike. If you think Derek Meowers needs to get focused on this game, smash that like button. Let's go.
And also, who do you think's going to finally break this scoring drought in the second half? Will it
Comment
be
next
McFluffy?
touchdown. Comment next touchdown. Is it going to be Purrow? Is it going to be Jamal's Chase? Is it going to be Jadeveon Clowney? Is it going to be my guy, Dylan McFluffy?
Yeah, Maniac, you had a future on Dylan McFluffy. He was plus 1,200 to be the MVK, and he was involved in the two-point conversion. He was an RPO with him and Joe Purrow to get that score, but Joe Purrow came down with it. How do you feel about that?
Right. Well, right now I'm not feeling great, but here's the thing, Wake. With 12-1 odds, if he makes one play down the stretch here, it could be McFluffy. Yep. Oh, sorry, LeBron got McFluffy. I don't care if it's McFluffy. I don't care if it's McFluffy. As long as we're cashing that 12-1, that's what we're all about, baby. Daddy needs a new suit.
Bet responsibly, folks.
Get your new suit responsibly.
And we have
we see fans in the south end zone trying to rush the field again. I know these participants, it's basically like One Direction versus Big Time Rush. So they're obviously trying to charge and see if they can get just even a moment of breath with these superstars.
Now we do have action on both ends of the field here. We have McFluffy and Furman Thomas on the left side of the field. They have a few opportunities to score. Now Jadeveon Clowney did have a great chance on the right side of the field, but he's creeping back towards the 50-yard line, now back to the 10. Let's see if he can push something into the end zone down there because they could really use a score right now. Really would demoralize the Clyde's Clovers.
Wait, if I didn't know better, Jamal's Chase is basically taking a nap in the middle of 3 Clovers, while Joe Purrow and Dylan McFluffy are centimeters away in the north end zone from scoring.
And we are coming up on the 2-minute warning for the second half. Still 8-6 in favor of the Clovers, representing Clyde's Feed and Animal Center. And as they did say, if you do adopt one of these cathletes today, Clyde's does have that new Pets Perks package that will save you a ton of money on everything you need for those new pets. So make sure you check that out, folks.
And obviously, if you read our prospect report or scouting report, you know Furman Thomas is known for his big butt. And that big butt is out of bounds right now. But if he can make a play on any of those items, the catnip sack, the 2 footballs, the party favor, there are potentially 3 to 4 touchdowns in front of Furman Thomas. Meanwhile, the Clovers are at the south end zone. They're trying to make a play. Who's it going to be, Wade?
I'm feeling good about the Rosebuds right now. Jadeveon Clowney has absolutely been all over that field right now. He's covering a lot of ground. He's been going from the 30 back to the opposite 10-yard line. I really think that he's feeling himself out there.
You know, I hate to say it because I'm obviously been a supporter for him throughout his career, but Terrell Snuggs just never woke up for this game. I don't know if he can still make a play here. I guess he can still seize the moment, carpe diem, but he still looks like he's napping. It looks like he's finally, you know, rubbing those eyes.
They do say big-time players make big-time plays and big-time moments. Let's see if any of them can etch themselves in feline football history as we wind down the second half. Still 8-6. Oh, is that a touchdown?
Oh, touchdown!
That's a touchdown! Touchdown!
He is up from his nap
Snuggs!
and he is into the end zone. Terrell Snuggs gives the Rosebuds the lead late in the 4th quarter here in the Kitten Bowl.
And Terrell Snuggs, that could be the career-defining play for him. He was below the top 5 in the MVK voting. Really, that's huge for him. We got a big boost for his confidence. Now the score is 12-8. 12-8 right now. Of course, we could possibly see some overtime here in such a tight game. Maniac, I just hope both teams get a chance to possess the ball and score in overtime if that does happen.
Seriously, both teams should have an opportunity, equal opportunity in overtime. Yeah, like you said though, we got a no, we only had one cat there. We only had one cat. Looking to make a play late, but it was only a 1-cat conversion. Unfortunately, it won't be a point, even though they will have possession here late in the game.
Absolutely. And now we are down inside, a minute left in this game. The Clovers need a touchdown in order to escape the jaws of defeat, but I don't know how inspired I would be by what they've put together in this second half.
You've said big-time players make big-time plays in big moments. Will Perman Thomas move his big-time butt and make a play here, Wake?
I sure hope so. He's been sitting outside. If he does come back inbounds and possess the Perm, and he's back out of those back legs, and now he's completely off the field.
No, he's not about to. Oh! Well, look at this.
Now this
the
guy
Clovers
coming
with a
in.
methodical
It's
attack on the end zone.
Purrow at the 1 yard.
Touchdown! Touchdown, Purrow! He has given the Clovers a lead very late in this game.
It is 14-12 Clovers, just seconds on the clock. The Rosebuds, lackadaisical, don't know what to do right now. They really need to figure this out.
They're awestruck. They don't know what hit them.
And that's it. Is that it? The time has gone out. Has it gone
out? And that is it.
Is that it? How much time is left?
Derek
Meowers. Derek Meowers, let us know.
No one man should have all that meower.
Good one, Boom.
Yeah, by the way, shout out to our commissioner, Boomer Esiason.
The Clyde's Clovers, they're the only ones out there right now. And it looks like, yep, that is it, folks. That is it. Final score of the 2022 10 Lives
Here
Kitten
with
Bowl.
Jim, the owner of Clyde's Feed and Animal Center. Jim, big victory here for the Clyde's Clovers. How do you feel about how the team played?
I think they played awesome. I think it could have been maybe a bigger margin of victory, but you know what? 1 point's better than nothing, right?
Absolutely. Joe Purrow taking home the MVP. It's going to be sad to see him go last year on the team. What can you talk about the impact he's had on Clyde's Clovers?
Well, I wish we could have re-signed him. You know, it's just tough that we have to let him go. But, you know, that's the way it is in the kitten business. It just goes like that, you know?
Absolutely. And last question for you. I know you got a busy media roundtable to get to, I know. But already talks of next year, another Kitten Bowl. One, what do you think we can do to make the event even better? And two, how do you feel about being repeat champions?
I think the open air atmosphere was a great way to go. Maybe if the weather is like it was today, a dome stadium would make it a little bit better. But, you know, we just have to keep everybody re-signed for the following year, and I think it'll be a great performance next year.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jim, very much. That's going to do it for us here at the 2022 Kitten Bowl. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Good night now.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, I should have been warned as an asthmatic because that Kitten Bowl 2022 just took my breath away.
What a nail biter, really. Joe Purrow taking home the most valuable kitten. He was the favorite for that award, and he definitely earned it. Maniac, this was an absolute blast. Thank you for joining us for this. Thank you for helping make all this happen. Can't wait to do this with you next year.
Seriously, next year can't come soon enough. Already looking forward to it. Again, a huge shout out to our sponsors, obviously, Clyde's, 10 Lives, Sweet Buffalo, Fattey, and many more. With that said, from us at the Kitten Bowl 2022, it is a good cat now.